Hello, I'm Domino Taylor, and I am with the Gulf Coast Film Festival, and we are here tonight at Lakewood Yacht Club in Seabrook, Texas for the 18th annual Film Festival, Gulf Coast Film Festival, and we have a very important guest here that we are so excited to be with, and we're just going to talk with her briefly, and you all probably know her. She is Joanne King Herring, and not only a philanthropist of Houston, but I think a lot of the film people also know her as the part that Julia Roberts played in Charlie's War. She has her own background with film, and not only that, a television star. She's been with the local stations here. There's not anything that Joanne hasn't done. So we were real pleased to have her here, and I want you to meet Joanne. Hello and welcome, Joanne. Tell me how that you got started. She's accepted an award for the foreign film. Please tell me how that came about. I know you're a big film lover, and how you came about with accepting Michael's award for the foreign film.
Well, I became friends with his father,
Oh,
who is a writer for Forbes, very talented.
oh, right.
And we became friends because he wrote something about me as a anniversary of the Cold War. And he was nice enough to say that I was the only person in history, or girl, or woman, who had ever won a war. So I thought, I have to meet that man.
Oh, my.
And so I did, and we became friends. Along the line, we talked about our children, and he told me about Michael. And he said, my son has gone to China, and I don't know what in the world to do about that. And I said, well, I think that's pretty neat that he would go to China, young as he is. He's, I think, 29.
I know.
And I said, what is he doing? He said, well, he's filming. You know, going to China, not speaking Mandarin or anything. I assume he does now. But at the time he didn't. That's a lot of, it takes courage to do that. I know you've probably been to China, and I have, and I must say I didn't feel all that at home.
No, no.
But obviously Michael did, because his film shows not only deep sensitivity of spirit, but a sensitivity toward the country and the people. But that film was not about China. That film was about divorce. And when I first saw it, I thought, what is this? And then I thought, it's really very interesting. He has everything in it. A young person that is obviously very unhappy, very uncomfortable, feeling their life has been absolutely destroyed. And suddenly the parents die, but not everybody thinks that when their parents die, that it's the end of the world. But children of divorce do.
That's true. That's true.
And so I thought it was an allegory. And then you see the girl steals things, which is kind of like fighting back. And you get angry at your parents, and you want to get even, do something they won't like at all. And she runs away and meets this boy. And you don't feel they have all that connection. And you sort of wonder what this is all about. And they wonder, the boy wonders. So they go up to this, where was that? Did Michael tell you where that edifice was? It was a pseudo castle, which China didn't have medieval Gothic castles. And that's what this structure was, you know, and they spent the night there. And I remember in the film, this girl goes to the edge of the building, which is very high, and you think, oh, she's going to jump. But she looks out, and you kind of have the feeling that she sees a beautiful world. And that doesn't assuage her grief, but it impacts her. And as she and the boy sit and talk, she purchased with her stolen money drinks, if you remember. And I remember the boy saying, "Ooh, this is too sweet," and then the other, he said, "This is too bitter," and she said, "I like the bite." And you know, when you're suffering, a lot of times you want to hurt yourself a little bit. So
Transfer the pain.
that's right. How clever of you.
How
That's right.
clever of me.
Well, it is. That you do want to transfer the pain.
That's true. But
So-
it makes sense in that movie, exactly.
That's right. And so you see her suffering, and they don't seem to be a complete couple, but they kiss, and, you know, the hormones of teenagers, and they draw together, and you feel that there's a closeness. And yet the next morning, they wake up, and she is a different person because she sees that she has other people, that though she doesn't have her parents anymore, her life really isn't over.
That's right.
It's maybe just beginning. And maybe he's not there forever, but maybe just for now. And that maybe life is like that. And then they walk to the edge of the precipice again, and you think, are they going to join hands and jump? And they do.
Yeah.
But it's not suicidal. It's a step.
Yeah, it's a step.
It's a step, and they step into the future. And that is something that I think veterans who are suffering, you know, single mothers who are suffering, everybody that's suffering can find a new beginning in that little tiny short film.
That's true. You can see why that movie won for Best Foreign Film. And she was here to accept it for Michael because he flew back to China this morning at 7 o'clock. And like Joanne and I were saying, how you can fly over here and then fly back the next day, you've got to be a young person with all that. He says he doesn't get jet lag. And I went, that's a young person that can just fly to China and back. And we were just so happy. And Joanne, I hope you had a good time here. We were so happy that you were here. I hope you really had a good time because you were a guest that we were all anticipating. And we want to thank you very much for being here and accepting this award. And also, thank you for everything you've done for Houston, Texas.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, yes, I had a wonderful time.
I'm glad.
And everybody I met was fascinating. Everybody I met did something special.
This is a room full of fascinating people with all the directors and actors and producers and publicists. I mean, we all have that common goal, and it is to bring more films to Houston. And we appreciate everything that you've done to help us and support us. So
Thank
we
you,
want.
darling. You made me proud.
Oh, I'm proud too. So we're signing out with Joanne here. I'm Domino. Thank you so much for being a part of this. And like I said, I didn't have goosebumps when I met you. I had duck bumps. I'm just really privileged. And we want to give Michael a big shout out. We know that he's been flying on the airplane, but it was a great film. So thank you and good night.